guys, it's Fiona from Eventide Reads, and today I'm here to talk about the new book from Kara Staton, that is Counting Stars. This is out on the 1st of September, if I remember correctly. I got a copy through NetGalley, so thank you very much NetGalley and Hotkey Books. Ever since I spoke to Karis at the Judy Blume event, I've been really looking forward to Counting Stars. It just really spoke to me, and when I actually read the book, it really did speak to me. So we follow a young girl, Anna, who is leaving home for the first time. She's very excited about her new prospects, her new job, and everything that could happen with her new housemates. So moving out is something that is an inexplicably large portion of our lives, and not many books deal with that, and I really like the fact that this one dealt with it off the bat. Yes, she was worried about it, but she was also excited about it, and it dealt with all these different feelings, and I think it did it really well. We meet a whole host of characters. We've got all the housemates and all their different relationships with each other and with other people. Explores so many different personalities and people that you can end up living with. Like, when I moved into Halls for the first time, I lived with people who were so very different from me, and we were all so different. And this has that perfect blend of being different, but at the same time they came together and they could sort of connect. Obviously in real life it's not always like that, but it's portrayed very well in this book. So alongside the moving out, things like that, we also have the sex in there. There's a lot of sex in this book. Not a bad thing at all. Call me a prude. I really appreciate the fact that sex is brought up really quickly in this book. It's one of the first things the housemates talk to Anna about, and they tell all their stories. And when Anna says she's a virgin, instead of them all freaking out going, oh my god, why have you not lost your virginity, they actually deal with it in a very sensible, mature way, which I think is a fantastic thing to see in a book, because I personally am all for people keeping their virginity as long as they want to. This video is going to be a little bit TMI, by the way, of like comparisons between the book and my life, because I feel so many strong things between what's happened to me and this book that I wish this book had been around before I went to uni. It would have just helped sort of, me to deal with some emotions that I was going to experience. For example, the whole virginity thing. Most of you who know me in real life or know me a long time know that I'm engaged to my partner of nearly 10 years. I'm only 26, so that means we got together when we were 16. I was still virgin until I was 19. And he totally respected that. And I think that's something that needs to be portrayed in fiction, because you shouldn't be pressured into doing anything. But on the flip side, this book does deal with some of those pressures. And it does really well. And it's really hard to explain without being too spoilery now, but there are times where I just sort of went, I remember that feeling, I remember the terror, and hilariously one of the things that happens to one of the characters, but part of her experiences, hilariously, I experienced the next day, and was just like, oh, well, oh, this is great. Luckily I've been through that before, so it's fine, but it was just very funny. And I was like, this thing still happens. This happens to everybody. This is what I love about this book, is these things happen to so many people that any of these things could happen to you. Like, it emotionally prepares you for things that are going to come. And as I kept mentioning on Goodreads, who I didn't like, what I didn't like, and how I felt about everything. The ending of the book absolutely floored me, and I wasn't expecting it to, and I wasn't expecting to cry, but I shed a few tears, and I got very emotional, and it was beautiful. It was just so well done. I think if you're moving away from home for the first time, or going to university for the first time, then this is a book that you really should read. Or if you're thinking about moving out, or things like that, about growing up and just wanting to do stuff on your own, that it isn't all sunshine and roses. Yes, there's times where it's great, but there's times where it also seriously sucks, that you need to experience in one way or another. And I think this book does a great job of that. There's probably more I was going to mention, but I'm trying to keep it TMI free to an extent. But yes, this is a fantastic book that I think you all should read, and I gave it 4.5 5 stars because I loved it. And it's totally up there with my favourite books of the year. It's brilliant. Pick up Keris's new book when it comes out on September 1st because it needs to be read. Seriously. The only thing I wish had been included in this as well was long distance relationships, because they're not included in books enough either. That's the only thing. If you could have just squeezed that in. But seriously though, like, that's just another thing that I want to see more of in books. Keris has done a brilliant job of bringing to light all these things that we experience that sometimes we're too scared to talk about, like sex. When you're a teenager, sex is like a secret, but at the same time it's not. It's a very strange thing, but Keris has dealt with it really, really well in this book, and it's definitely worth reading. Hope you guys enjoy our video today, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!